Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Okan Sebastian and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can achieve your goals. Right? It sounds really plain simple, but at the end of the day, a lot of people have issues achieving their goals. Now, one thing we have to understand is that we are living in 2025, a world full of distractions. You have social media, you have parties, you have this, you have that, you have all kinds of distractions packed in the world. So obviously these kind of things obviously take your mind off from the things that you really want to achieve, but also there's procrastination, right? A lot of people don't really know how to go towards their goals, which leads to procrastinating, right? So the issue is that most of the people have dreams, they have goals, and they want to achieve a lot of things in their lives. But the problem is that people don't really know how to get there. Meaning that you might have a dream, you might have a goal, but it's just planted inside of your head, which is great. Everybody needs that. But the next step is to really understand how are you going to get towards your goal, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you next. So what most of the people have is that they have their point A, right? And then they have their point B, right? But everybody knows that life isn't a straight line. So if we really want to get towards the point B, then obviously we cannot go just in a straight line. We need an actual plan and understand what do we really need in order to actually go towards the point B. So instead of doing that, we could have point A here, right? But then we need the actual steps to actually get towards wherever we want to go. So we need to have our step 1, then we have our step 2, we have our step 3, step 4, step 5, and probably at some point we're going to get towards our finish line, which is going to be the point B, aka finish line, right? Now, this is actually going to open all the things that we need in order to actually get towards the finish line, which is the actual goal. So first of all, what do we need? We need to have our step 1, which is going to be a plan, right? The most important thing, honestly, if you want to get anywhere, you need to have a plan, because without a plan, you really don't know where to go. You don't know what it really requires in order for you to get there. So without a plan, you're just a feather in the wind, right? The next thing what we need is the step 2, obviously, which is going to be the tools. The tools and let's say even connections, right? Connections. So with having the right tools and the connections, everything is going to be a lot more easier. Now, there are a lot of lone wolves in the world, and I truly do believe that by doing it yourself, you can achieve pretty much anything you want. But it is required to have connections and tools to actually make the whole process a lot more easier, and also making it actually a lot more productive in a sense as well, because if you're trying to battle through everything by yourself, it's way harder. Connections really help, and the tools that you might have are going to open you a lot more. It's actually not going to open, but it's going to make it a lot more effective in a sense. The next thing we have is step 3, which is going to be your execution. So even if we have a plan, we have all the tools, we have everything, if we do not execute, nothing will change, right? So without executing anything, nothing will happen, right? So you can have the best plan, you could have all of this, you could have all of that, but if you do not execute, then obviously nothing happens, right? A lot of people have great ideas, and they even might have amazing plans and everything is set up, but they're just not really doing anything, and therefore nothing is really happening, right? So the next thing we have is obviously the step 4, which is going to be ability to adjust to change. So adapt to change. right? Especially in today's world. The world is changing all the time. People are changing, they are changing. Everything is changing, business is changing. So you have to have the ability to change, right? Now you might have a plan, you can have the tools, you can execute the plan, you have everything, right? But you're too stubborn, you're too arrogant, and you don't have the ability to make a change to your plan. You want to believe that this is going to work. Honestly, it could work, and possibly could 100%, but real ways to get towards where we want to go usually need a little bit of change during the path. I'm going to show you after this exactly why. So step 4 is that, and then we have our step 5. Okay, so you have step 5, and this is going to be perseverance, your mentality and stuff like that. So let's just write perseverance, right? Perseverance, aka mentality, mindset, all those kind of things. Because if you have a right mindset, if you have the correct mentality in life, you can really go very far just with the right mindset, with the right mentality. Perseverance is extremely important, because what happens to most of the people who are going towards their goals, they have a great idea, they start doing it, but then they start to realize, oh, this actually requires a little bit more than I thought. I would need to do this now, and I have to do that, and I have to be working 12 to 16 hours a day. That's where most of the people quit. They're not ready to actually put all that effort that is required in order to go towards the finish line, right? So perseverance is extremely important. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is exactly why you have to have the ability to adapt to change, because if you are doing everything in a way that you've always known and you're not ready to take new ideas or things in order to make a little change to your plan, then obviously you're always going to be sticking around at the same position. I'm going to explain to you in a very, very simple way so that everybody can understand. So if we say that we are at $0 and your goal is to have $1 million, then obviously with a straight plan, nothing happens, like we were just talking about earlier, right? So what we need to do in order to go from $0 to $1 million, we have to actually cut it into smaller pieces. So instead of going directly from 0 to 1 million, we could go first to 10K, right? And then we could go from 10K to 50K, and then from 50K to 100K, and then from 100K to 250K, right? And then from 250K to 500K, and then from here to 1 million. Now, as you can see, it actually makes a lot more sense to cut it into smaller pieces. So first you achieve 10K, then 50, then 100, then 250, then 500, and then 1 million. But the key thing that I want to discuss about in this example is the fact that, let's say from 0 to 10K, it takes you 1 year, right? Now, if this took you 1 year with this exactly the same plan that you used, let's say going to work and saving money, now with the exact same plan, with the same salary, obviously it's going to take you now 5 years to go to 50K. Now, if you keep up with the same plan, with the same technique, with the same ideas and all of that, then obviously going from 0 to 1 million would take you, with this plan, 100 years, right? So if it took you 1 year to go to 10K, then obviously it would take you 100 years to go to 1 million. Now obviously nobody's going to really achieve that in their lifetime, because how many of us really live to 100 years? That is really kind of crazy to even think about it. But the reality is that you have to cut this into different ways, right? So meaning that if this one took you 1 year, now in order for you to go from 10 to 50K, you have to change your plan. You have to maybe upgrade yourself, change your business plan, scale your business and all of that, in a way that maybe it takes you now only 2 years to go from 10K to 50K. And then it takes you another 2 years to go to 100K, or maybe it takes you 1 year or something like that. And at the end of the day, by scaling up your business, by scaling up things, elevating yourself, learning new skills, gaining more knowledge, training on your mind, and all these kind of things are eventually going to buckle up and make it a lot more quicker for you to achieve the results that you want to have. Meaning that then it could possibly take, let's say, 15 years to go from 0 to 1 million. Or it could be faster. But again, it's not 100 years. So what this is actually showing you is the fact that if you truly want to achieve your goals, you have to have a really good plan. Cut your plan into sections, understanding that going from this point to this point is actually going to require quite a lot of steps. You have to have the right mentality. You have to execute the plan. You need to have the right tools. You have to have the right connections. And also what you need to do is that you also need to understand that if this plan doesn't work and if it's too slow, then you need to scale. You need to actually upgrade yourself in order to make it a lot more quicker so that you can actually get towards your goals. And when you have everything cut into pieces, it actually makes the journey a lot more better, because then you have milestones, right? Now you achieved 10K, right? You can go and maybe, celebrate it. Then you achieved 50K, you can celebrate it. You achieved 100K, you can celebrate it. And so on and so on. But if it's just a straight line, you kind of feel lost because you don't really feel like you've achieved anything, right? Let's say you're sitting right now at 250K, but because you didn't really have it as a milestone, then you really don't feel like achieving anything, right? And this is just an example. So we could be talking about your health, right, in the gym. We could be talking about your mentality, your psychology, your mental health, and all that kind of stuff. So it goes into the same subject. Cut your goals into smaller pieces and make a good plan how you're going to get there, and really, this is the way you can really achieve your goals, right? So you have to have a plan, go towards it. Guys, you have many dreams, you have your goals, I know it, everybody has them. Now just go and write a plan, know what you're gonna do, and have perseverance, never quit, just go towards it, right? I hope you guys got something out of today's video. My name is Okan Sebastian. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.